Hi guys! I am doing today a yin yoga video for everyone, but this one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to use the wall today and a couple of props if you have any at home. I thought this would be a great opportunity to show everyone that even if you don't have props, the wall is awesome prop to use because everyone has walls at home, right? Additional props that you can use for today's class are 2 blocks, if you have them. You can use a blanket, which you'll see me using throughout the whole class. If you don't want to use a blanket, you can use a towel or 2, and then also bolster or a pillow. As you can tell, my puppy will probably be on most of my props. This is Chewbacca, by the way, guys. So again, this is yin yoga, and we'll be doing it at the wall. Of course, you have additional props if you would like to use them. Bolsters, blocks, blankets, or towels. And if you are using blankets or towels, I would get 2 of each. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right on into it. We're going to be at the wall the entire time. So I want to go ahead and start off with legs up the wall at first. So I want you to get as close as you can comfortably to the wall. If you have a blanket, I want you to fold it up at least once, if not twice. We're going to use it as a pillow underneath that. So again, get as comfortably close as you can to the wall. And either a blanket or a towel underneath the head. Hold it at least once, if not twice. And you want to relax the legs here, arms either at your side, palms open and facing sky, or hands on the stomach. Now you want to make sure that the shoulders are flat on the mat. That means that they're not floating. And shoulders are down and away from the ears. Eyes are closed. And if you start to feel like you're having too much of a stretch here, there's a lot of pain, not discomfort, but pain, you can push yourself away from the wall a little bit. But remember, this is yin, so yin is a little bit different than restorative. In yin, you want to feel a bit of discomfort. So you want to feel that really intense stretch, not sharp stabbing pain, but intense stretch. So you're going to feel this all in the back of the legs, starting from the hamstrings, working down to the back of the knees and calves. You may feel it in the lower back, depending on if the hips are up off the mat. Now you want to make sure that you're not floating, the hips are not off the mat, and that may happen if you're not relaxing too much. So if you are fairly close to the wall and you're not relaxed, I would scoot back a little bit, that way that the hips are actually on the mat. And you can always separate the legs a little bit too if it gets too intense. Again, you want that stretch, but not sharp stabbing pain. Start to bring focus to your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. taking deep, full, long, and steady breaths. We are going to begin our practice today with our pranayama, samariti, even breath. Breathe in through the nose for a count of 5. Then breathe out through the nose for a count of 5. Deep, full, long, steady, and controlled breaths. Continue to relax the body. Shoulders down away from the ears. They're flat on the mat. Arms are relaxed. Wrists and fingers are relaxed. Hips relaxed and sinking down into the mat. Thighs, knees, calves, ankles to toes. Last 5 rounds of samariti, even breath. Breathe in through the nose for a count of 5. Then breathe out through the nose for a count of 5. Full, long, and steady breaths. Start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle the toes. Then we're going to point and flex the feet, shake the legs here. And we're going to bend the knees one at a time. And then hug knees to chest and rock side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring legs back up the wall. And then we're going to start off with half butterfly. So we're going to keep that left leg straight. We're going to bend right leg, right sole of your foot into your inner left thigh. So half butterfly here, or half Baddha Konasana. If you have blocks or a bolster or even a pillow, you can place it underneath that right knee for support. Again, you can have a bolster, blanket, or pillow underneath that right knee for support. Now remember, we hold poses for the for an extended amount of time. Because we're trying to work through that fascia, work through the connective tissue within the body, within the joints and the muscles. So we're looking for that point of discomfort, what I often call our edge. So as long as you feel no pain, I want you to stay in the variation that you are in, stay in your pose. Sit in that discomfort and breathe. Work through your discomfort with your breath work, with your pranayama. Yin is very therapeutic. It is challenging because we hold our poses for several minutes at a time. And because we sit here in that discomfort, it plays tricks on your mind often. But if you focus on your breath, if you get out of the body, it'll do you wonders. So focus only on your breath. Think of nothing else. Don't think of the external. Don't think of what you have to do tomorrow, what you have to do today. Focus only on one thing, and that is your breath. At this moment, at this time. Samariti, even breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. And remember, in half bada, we're working on the hips here. So you're going to feel it in the right hip. You're going to feel it in the inner thigh, right inner thigh here, going into the knee, depending on how far that right knee is going down, and whether you're using a prop or not. And in Yin, everyone's body looks different. So my version of half butterfly is going to look completely different than your version of half butterfly and whatever version someone else is doing. So focus on how it feels. You're feeling it in the inner thigh. You're feeling it in the right hip. If you're feeling it in the right knee, in the groin area, you're doing it. If you're not feeling it on that right side, go a little bit deeper. So drop it a little bit further down. Or don't use a prop if you're using a prop. Or we can do something completely different. So if you're doing it at the wall and you're not feeling anything, perhaps do half butterfly on your mat and fold forward. That way you can feel it a little bit more. Perhaps being propped up on the wall isn't really getting into that stretch that you need. So again, if you're not feeling anything in half butterfly at the wall, try doing it folding forward at your mat. So sitting upright and then fold forward, doing half butterfly. So those are a couple of options. We're here for just another 10 rounds of breath. Perfect time to really focus on that breath. Samariti, even breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Last count of breath here. If you're using any props underneath that right knee, go ahead and remove them. Hands underneath that right knee, slowly bring the knee to center first. Take your time. And then we're going to extend that right leg up, nice and slow. point and flex both feet, shake the legs. Just gonna take a moment here. If it feels good, you can bend both knees and just rock from side to side. And then we're gonna take it to the left side. So any props that you used on the right, I would go ahead and place them to the left side. And just take your time figuring out on the left side what prop works best for you. Remember, both sides are different. So if you use a block on the right, you may want to try it on the left, but it may not work. You may want to use a bolster and vice versa. So keeping the right leg straight, we're going to go ahead and bend that left leg, so the left sole of the foot into the inner right thigh. And then again, if you would like to use a prop, you can place it under that left knee. So it can be a bolster, blanket, block, towel, pillow, whatever you have, or no prop at all. And again, in yin, once you get into a pose, or into a variation of a pose, you want to stay in that pose of variation. So going into other videos that I will be doing, I will give variations to poses, and I will say, often you can go from variation back to the original pose, or I will say sit in this variation. I say that because if you start to move back and forth, it kind of defeats the purpose of sitting in the pose, because staying in a pose, you get the best benefits. We're stretching for extended amounts of time because we're working through that fascia. The fascia gets stiff. And when it's stiff, it's hard for us to kind of move around. It's like when you first wake up in the morning and you feel all stuck and stiff. But then when you start to move around, you feel a little bit more fluid. So this is what yin is doing. We're working through that stiffness, making our joints more mobile. So sit in the pose. Sit in that discomfort. Sit at your edge. If you feel that this is not challenging enough, again, if you're using a prop, take away the prop. Try that. Or step down if you're using a block and you're like, well, I feel like if I take away the prop using a block, it's going to be too much. Then go down to a blanket or go down to a towel. There are steps that you can do so that it's not super intense. And again, if you feel like you're not getting to your edge, whether you take away a prop or not, there is that option, the other variation that I said. Like I said, on the right side, you can do here on the left. You can sit up onto your mat, and you can do half butterfly upright, meaning that you can fold forward rather than be on the wall. So there are two different options here, although we're doing in at the wall. If you're not getting that stretch and you're not getting the benefit of the end today, I would suggest doing half butterfly on your mat folded forward, because I really do want you to get the benefit of this pose. So I want you to sit in the pose, breathe, focus only on your breath. So again, think back to our pranayama, our breath work. Samariti, even breath. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. Even if it's challenging, use your breath to help you through this pose. Remember, you're feeling it here on that left side, all through the groin, inner left thigh, knee. You may feel it in the left hip. We're here for just another 10 rounds of breath. So really take the time here to fully get into this pose, fully relax, and only focus on the breath. Nothing else. This is your time, your space. And then when you're ready, you're gonna bring slowly that left knee to center, so hand underneath the left knee to center, and then start to straighten that left leg out, point and flex both feet, shake the legs. And then from here, we're gonna do swan up the wall. So swan is a lot like pigeon, and also it's sometimes called thread the needle in an active class. So left leg is straight. We're going to bend the right leg. We're going to place right ankle on top of left knee. So again, left leg is straight, bend right leg, right ankle on top of left knee. You can hold here if this is a good enough stretch for you, or you can start to bend your left knee and start to bring that right ankle towards you. And this will bring your left foot onto the wall. And you can go as close as you want, so you can bend that left knee as much as you like. Now you're going to be feeling this on the right side, the back of your right leg. So going into the hamstring, back of the knee, and then it works onto the outside of that leg. So into the outer right hip. So again, you're going to feel it in the back of the right leg, and then it works into the outside of that right hip. We're going to hold here for just another minute and a half. So this is kind of a quickie. It's a pretty intense one, depending on, again, how close that knee is. And you're feeling it on the outer right hip and your hamstrings to the back of that right leg. And you want to sit in that discomfort so that it's not a sharp stabbing pain, shooting pain. There is a nice, juicy, sometimes is what they call it, stretch. It's pretty intense. I want you to take the time here to really breathe, because it will get pretty intense. I'm feeling it right now as I'm sitting here. So these last 10 rounds of breath. Think back, Samariti, in, out, through the nose. You find that the hips are starting to come up off the mat. You may need to start to straighten that left leg. You want to keep those hips on the mat. So when the hips start to lift up, that means that we're starting to kind of tense up, and we don't want that. That's going to make that right leg start to tense up, and that's going to cause a lot of pain and could injure us. Just 5 more rounds of breath here. And as we start to slowly come out of swan at the wall, you're going to straighten that left leg first, up the wall. And then you're going to unwind, so right leg comes over, point, flex the feet, shake the legs. And then we're going to do the left side, so right leg is straight. I'm going to bend that left leg, left ankle, top of right knee. And if this is as far as you want to go, that's perfectly fine. If you want to start to bend now that right knee, you can, bringing left ankle towards you. And that's going to take that right foot and it's going to start to put it on the wall. Again, you want to go towards your edge, that point of discomfort. And now you're going to start to feel it on that left side. So again, it goes from your hamstring to the outside of the hip here. So back of the left leg into the outer hip. Now, if you find again that the hips start to come up off the mat, that means you're kind of tensing up a little bit here. It's going to cause a lot of pain on the left side. So start to straighten that right leg up the mat, or up the wall, excuse me. So you want to keep those hips on the mat as much as you can. So again, you start to find that your hips are starting to lift up. Just straighten that right leg. Here for just one more minute. Focus on the breath here, or pranayama, samariti, even breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Try not to think about the external, focus only on the breath. When you're ready to come out of this pose, I want you to slowly extend that right leg up the mat, up the wall. And then once that's straight up the wall, we're gonna unwind left leg, point and flex the feet, shake the legs, and bend the knees, hug knees to chest, and just rock side to side, forward and back. And then we're going to roll onto our right side. Be mindful of any blocks that you have. Just close the eyes. We're going to hold here for a few moments. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, I want you to push yourself upright. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back and down, eyes are closed. We are going to end our practice as we began it with the pranayama. We're going to do belly breathing. Left hand on your chest, right on your stomach, shoulders down, away from the ears, eyes are still closed. Still breathing in and out through the nose. I want you to feel only the stomach move. With every inhale, it expands. And with every exhale, it contracts. So very little movement in the chest. I'm going to do just 5 rounds. So take your time, breathe deeply. Go ahead and place your hands either on your lap, on your knees, or at your side. I want to thank everyone for joining me today and sharing their practice.